This is Elaine from Nabi Studio. This is episode number 5. It's been a while. The whole summer has passed, and I'm trying to do this podcast, and I'm going to force myself to upload this regardless of how this turns out. So hopefully it won't be too crazy. But you can find me on Instagram. Usually that's where I am most active, and I'm on Facebook and Ravelry and all those things. And I actually started a podcast group. Activity on it since I haven't done a podcast recently. But please join the group, and you can ask me questions there and just chat and whatever. And since since the Christy Glass interview has released and my last episode here, I've actually met a couple of people that are in the area or traveling into the area. So that was really nice, and slowly I am building a little bit of a community, and I hope as time goes by there'll be more of a community still. So please join the group if you like to just chat or ask questions. And I've had a couple people ask questions on how to do certain things or what my preferences are. Someone said that they really liked the necklines of my sweaters, and I can't really take credit for it since it's just the designs. But I do like making my sweaters top down, so usually that makes it easier for me to have a stretchy neck but also have some sort of structure. I use a tubular cast on, so it's a really nice look to it, and it's stretchy enough that I can always pull it over my head. When I do something from the bottom up, or if it's a provisional cast on in the middle of the sweater and it goes up and ends with a bind off on the neck, it's hard because I want it to be stretchy, but it also has to have structure in it. So it has to hold the sweater up. And so one of the sweaters I did recently, I did a tubular bind off on the neck, and now I'm not quite so sure if I should change it to just a regular bind off. It won't be as stretchy, but it will hold better, and it won't stretch out too much while I'm wearing it. So I have a bunch of whips, and actually probably too many whips, and the deadlines are all very close, so I'm not really quite sure how I'm going to meet all the deadlines, but somehow I do, right? A lot of the FOs, or most of the FOs I have, I can't even show because they're all secrets, and I'm not even quite sure I should mention them, but I will quickly talk about some of them. And since I've been here last, I have new glasses. I now have a pair of glasses for seeing far away, and this for seeing things close. So when I'm trying to knit, I put them on. When I'm doing computer work, I put them on. But then if I'm trying to watch TV, it causes a little bit of a problem. I refuse to buy bifocals. I refuse to buy the glasses with different lenses in different areas where I can look down or look up or whatever to see different places. So anyway, here are my new glasses. And I also tried natural dyeing for the first time, actually just this past week. And so I have I had a whole bunch of avocado, skins and pits, and I dyed this DK weight yarn. It's still a little wet, and really happy with it. It's a rosy, beigey, peachy color. So it's 100% wool, and it's going to be a giant yarn cake, as you see. And I was thinking I would either do White Horse from Caitlin Hunter or Ranculus from Medora Horse. So one of those things will be cast on with this. So I'm looking forward to using it. I've used the wool base before, so I know it's really nice to work with. But yeah, hand dyed. So I have that, and I also naturally dyed some sock yarn, and this is 100% Cordell. It's non-superwash. There's no nylon in it. It's 400 meters per 100 grams, And this is also dyed with avocado skin and pits. And it's a little bit lighter than the one I just showed. It's rosy, it's pinkish, it's peachish. Oh, really nice, really nice. And I'm looking forward to casting a pair of socks on with this also. I dyed up 3 hanks. I'm saving one for myself and offering 2 in my shop. I'm not quite sure how often I'll have natural dyed stuff. Depends on the materials I can find also. And if that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know and I can work on that. But somebody had asked me whether I prefer superwash or non-superwash yarns. Personally, for myself, I like to use things that are non-superwash. I know that sometimes the colors don't come out as vibrant and as bright as something that is on superwash, because superwash takes dye. It really soaks in dyes and can soak things in quickly, so you can do the speckles better or easier, or they can be crisper. There are obviously some things that superwash is good, really good for, better for perhaps, and but personally I'm a non-superwash person, and I really like the fibers to be as natural as possible, and yeah, that's just me. And I do a lot of color work, so the color work really works out better when you use a non-superwash yarn, because the stickiness of it makes the color work a lot easier to do, and the results are a lot better. And I wanted to show, I have the wrist rulers. This one my friend gave me, but this one I recently purchased. It's the Brioche wrist ruler from Nancy Marchand. Marchant, sorry, I keep saying Marchand, it's Marchant. And I had a really hard time picking colors. Finally settled on the red. She had suggested plum, but plum was not available. And so I think it's matching nicely with my other one. Okay, so let's go into whips, because that I can show more. So I started my test for Yona of Elaine magazine. She is making Montmagnet Light, the lighter version of her Aran weight pattern that she released recently. So this is using fingering weight, and I just cast on last night, late, and have made good progress. I have to basically have the yoke finished and at least one sleeve done by the 19th, so I have to move quickly. And I'm using my hand-dyed. It is the Serenity Serenade, and it's coming out really beautifully. And you can see there's grays and blues and browns and greens, and it's really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. I finished a pair of socks recently, and using that for the cuff and the toes, and I said I really need a sweater in that colorway. And I'm also doing the test for Rive Couvive on Instagram. Again, not sure how anything is pronounced. I'm using Pearl Soho's Goodwool, and this is the hickory nut color, and this is the oldie sweater. So the bottom is a split hem, and it's a different take on the rib pattern for the hem. That's coming out really nicely. And I'm basically ready for the textured yoke portion soon. I'm actually making it a little bit longer than hers because I'm taller, and I don't think I want something as cropped as the pattern is. And I'm also doing a test for Flossy Knits, Claire. This is the Corbel sweater, and I have not done a worked flat sweater in a long time, but this is knit in pieces, and this is using my hand-dyed wool, Spilt Wine, and that's coming out really nicely. It's a nice, memorizable, easy repeat pattern, and so that's coming along, and the wool is really, of course, great to work with since it's mine. I'm really happy with it. I find a lot of pleasure in working with my hand-dyed. It's nice to make something the color you want and be able to choose. So let's start with some of these FOs, and I can't really show you much. Some of them I won't show at all just because they are really, really secret. But this one I finished a while ago. It's from This Bird Knits. It's the Nirvana sweater. And this is actually color work I did with superwash. So I was not sure how it was going to turn out since it's a little harder to work with. But I was really happy with the results. So this is Ocean Rain, and this is I Cannot Remain Neutral. Ocean Rain is a yak base. So I'm really happy with that. And then I have, this is the sweater I was talking about that is a provisional cast on right below where the yoke starts, and you go up and then you pull out the provisional cast on and work down. So the neck is, I had a bind off on the neck. So I did the tubular bind off or the sewn bind off on the neck. So I'm not quite sure if I need a little bit more structure in the neck. So I might change the bind off on this. But this is the Keys sweater, and from Trin Anelli or Anel on Instagram. And the mane is Lana Rara. It's a rare Swiss breed wool. And sorry about the lighting. And the contrast color is mine. Nabi Wool Studio. It's a Jameson and Smith that I held double because this is a worsted weight pattern. So I am very happy with that. And I have the Emma from Knit for Passion, Astrid, and I don't remember what the, oh, I think it's, no, it's not Toft. Okay, I can't remember. But anyway, the contrast colors are all mine, hand-dyed. So there's the green I used from my Sapilla, and there's Honey Bear, and then I use this lavender, and really, really happy with that. And I think it should be released soon, but I'm not quite sure. And then I did a test for making stories. The next book that's coming out is Jewels, and I have this, and it's all with tuku wool, which is a real pleasure to work with. And then I have two from Caitlin Hunter. This one is a Yarn on the House collaboration, Yoth, and this is also superwash. So the main is Wild Rice, Little Brother, Yarn on the House yarn, and the contrast here is mine. It's Nabi Wool Studio, and it's Cherub Cheeks. So I'm not sure. I think this will be released soon. It's a collaboration that Caitlin did with Yarn on the House. And then I finished a Caitlin design, which will be released on Thursday. So today's Tuesday. If you're watching it on my time, and 2 days you'll see this. It's the Ingalls sweater, and I use used Trussade wool, and then the contrast is mine, Nabi Wool Studio. So look for that on Thursday. And then I finished a pair of socks that I cannot show, and this is why I really wanted to use this color, Serenity Serenade. And this, the beige color, is a base that I was trying out. It's a Polworth base. This is superwash, and I really like it. These socks fit really, really great. I'm not sure when the pattern will be released, but it's a new design by Claire Devine, Knit Share Love on Instagram. I have a secret test that I did for Ellie. I cannot show that one. And a secret test I did for Libby Johnson, Truly Myrtle, and I won't show that one either because those are both secrets. But the Libby Johnson one I know is going to be released soon, or at least should be released soon. That's a hat. And yeah, so I have a lot of things going on, and they're all on a very fast track. And soon I ordered my yarn for my test for Elaine and that will be, I'll get to use Plutolopi for the first time, so I'm looking forward to that test. It's going to be a steep cardigan, and that's on a fast track also. She's releasing it on October 3rd. So hopefully my yarn will get here soon, and I will have to steek that and all, and we'll see how that turns out. I did not get the 2 kit colors that she has. I created my own colors, or created a kit using my choice of colors from the what she had to offer. So I hope it will look great, but I won't know until the yarn comes, and hopefully that will be soon. So what else? I talked about the neck, and I talked about the preference for non-superwash when possible. I think that's it. I hope I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I mentioned the Ravelry Group. I'm a little all over the place. The kids just went to school, and I wanted to get this done and get it out before I chickened out. So I'm going to try to do these podcasts more regularly, and hopefully soon I'll have one where I can actually show you all the things that I've finished, because I finished quite a bit since I've been here last. And by the way, I got a new microphone, so hopefully the sound is really, really good on this, and you can hear everything, and there's no weird feedback or anything on the microphone. But we'll see. Or you'll tell me how it works for you guys. What else? The season here has changed definitely very quickly. It was really, really warm here, and there's no air conditioning, so it was really sort of brutal for me. And but then literally like overnight it changed, and as you see, I'm wearing a sweater. This is a really old cardigan, maybe not that old, but it's an old cardigan that I have. This is owool, and it's worn really, really nicely, and trying to remember which cardigan it is. I can't remember right now. My memory seems to be a mess. I haven't been sleeping much, and I'm a crazy insomniac. So this one, I guess, is a little short, but I want to put it out there just because I don't want to go too long without putting a podcast out. And hopefully with the next one, it'll be longer, and you'll get to see my FOs finally, and get to talk about them more. But there's a lot of new things coming, so as you got a little glimpse of it, and from many different designers, and designers that I have not worked with before also. So it's been an interesting few months working different ways and working with different people, and hopefully I will meet all my deadlines, because they're all coming up, so I partially have to go because of that. And I hope to talk to you soon. Talk later. Bye.